Hello everyone, and welcome to the LucidVR haptic glove demo that I have been working on over the past year now. This table is an old artifact of it, where you can grab objects, interact with them thanks to the servo motors on the back of this glove, and then when you release it, your fingers can move back to normal. Tracking's a little bit but as such is with potentiometers that have been overused over a certain period of time. Over here, we have our zero gravity resizable haptic objects. So right now, if I go and touch this ball, you can hear the servos activate, but it's kind of just going to float forever. So if I chuck it into the grow tube, it gets really big. Let's grab one of the apples here, just see how it feels. With these gloves, you can feel the rigid geometry of the object. So while you may not be able to feel texture, you can feel that there is an object in your hand, roughly. And then we can also chuck that into the shrink tube, and then it'll get down to the size of like a marble. And I added that little sign there, all this signage. This character model right here, both of them actually are controlled using SlimeVR trackers, but with this one in particular, you can actually feel the haptics along every subsection of its body, so you can interact with it as it moves. I've even had this thing unintentionally give me a high five or a handshake at some point, but yeah. There are little haptic spheres on the hands. I'm sure I'll show a screenshot somewhere in my documentation. So, here are the button controls. If I want to grab this little cube right here and put it into the pause animations box, then the VRoid avatars will stop moving. And I can play them again just by putting them in the play box. This was kind of a little fun animation feature I wanted to add, so that way if you were watching a haptic 3D show, you could pause it if you needed to go to the bathroom or get some popcorn or whatever. Right now, these activate and deactivate tubes are only applied to the zero gravity tubes because they are the original ones and these are the cloned ones. But if I want to get them back, all I gotta do is put this in here and they're back. Look at that. Can disable and re-enable them at my leisure. We have a bunch of resizable haptic objects here, but this time all of them have gravity. So I can grab onto this cube, for example, and it'll just plop onto the ground because unlike the zero gravity objects, these obey the laws of physics. Over here, last station, this was originally supposed to be shot one of an animated demo called New Nunavut. Unfortunately, due to delays in hardware development and SlimeVR integration, I wasn't able to get too far with it in the end. But I also want to point out the room that we are in currently is the workshop where I assemble all the hardware that you see currently on my body. And I scanned this using an Insta360 X4 and then rendered everything using Metashape. Thank you very much.